Hey there, guys and gals. Aunt Diane here. This week I'm going to talk about a number of different kind of scams. One of them is a romance scam, not one that I um, was involved in, but it's a story I read and I watched on YouTube, and you might be interested in watching it too. The first one I'm going to talk about is the famous phishing scam. I had talked about that, I believe, last week or the week before. I think it was last week. I had talked about how, companies want to, fake companies, using the name of a well known company, they try to get you to click on their little link so they can get your information or get you to pay for something, thinking it's the real company. I'm still getting them, and I'm still getting them in my main email box, not in my spam. And the latest one I got from Walmart, it looked like the exact same print, but I didn't think it sounded right. Even when it is legitimate, I still click the name, and most of them are legitimate. But this was in my main email box. I clicked it, and sure enough, it was a scam. So of course I deleted it. But you really have to be careful. You can't just assume that because something is in your main email box that it's a good one. By the same token, you have to check your spam because sometimes an email you're looking for is in there. Um, I belong to this pet care thing where when you take your animals to the vet, you get like points or something to use on a future visit. And I couldn't find the invoice from when I took the old hound dog to the vet a few months ago. So the vet actually emailed me a copy of the invoice again so I can get the points. And I didn't see it. Finally, I looked in the email, scam email, and there it was. And it didn't even look like it was from them. It was just like the initials of the place. And it said, you may not click on this attachment. It's a protective thing by most email companies. So I moved it to inbox, and sure enough, and I opened it. It said, opening this could be risky, but I opened it, and it was the invoice I was looking for. But I was lucky that time, and I had a feeling it was them because they said they're sending it over right away. But you really do have to be careful. These phishing scams are very sneaky. This one's kind of sad. A lot of people, a lot of stores, pretty much all of them, they still display their cards out on the sales floor, and I really wish they wouldn't do that. I've been sending digital cards to people directly from Amazon or wherever it comes from. I just feel it's safer. That way, if something happens, it might be the employee that did it, right? But some kid got a gift card and he was all happy and he went to spend it, and the value on it was zero. Apparently, what must have happened was somebody got a hold of it and skimmed it or whatever, and then put it back on the shelf. And when this poor kid got the card, it had zero value. Now, these people are actually going to the main company and trying to get the money back. And that's where the story was left. It didn't do any follow-ups yet. It's probably a brand new story. So anytime you're in a store with that, I mean, I'm not telling you what to do, but you might want to mention it to the store owner, whoever. They really should not display cards out in the open like that, because they can't stand there and watch everybody in the store to make sure they're not up to some mischief, right? Please be careful. I recently watched a couple of videos. It was a collaboration of the channel Catfished, ED, so past tense, and Trilogy Media, who are two hilarious guys, and I think one of their wife goes in on it too sometimes. And they did a collaboration together with this woman who was being scammed for like years, I think 6 or 7 years or something. And she thought the guy was real. She never met him. They never did a live chat or anything. And apparently there were two episodes of this on YouTube where first they're trying to, stop the woman from sending money. And the second one was kind of a follow-up where they actually went to some of the locations to catch. There was a mule involved in getting the money halfway and then sending it to Nigeria. And they actually waited outside this guy's door and everything. Trilogy Media did. After all was said and done, they had the lady back in their office, and she just would not believe them. finally, after a little bit of tough love from Trilogy Media, the cute Russian guy, and some more evidence from Catfished, she finally said, "Okay, I'm going to block the man. I'm not going to deal with him anymore." Well, guess what? There was a little message on the screen at the end of the episode. She is still sending him money, and she unblocked the guy. So some people, I guess, want to hold on to the fantasy or, whatever, right? Then there was another story on Catfished, just like yesterday, the day before, a few days ago. Another woman would not be convinced that it was a catfish, no matter what they did. But finally, at the end of the episode, they do show her writing him a message saying, how could you say you're religious and do this to somebody? You should be ashamed of yourself. I don't want to hear from you ever again. So at least that lady hopefully learned her lesson. This one is very sneaky. You have to be careful of it. Fraud recovery or money recovery scams. I even see it in YouTube videos in the comments, other creators' YouTube videos. I think maybe it was in one of mine and I deleted it, but, I'm just a small YouTuber, but I think you know that, right? I'm trying. But some of the more well-known anti-scam YouTubers, I always see some crackpot putting a message in there. Call so-and-so. He's an expert at getting the money back. Those people that do that, or if they even sent an email to the person who was scammed, they're probably either the same person as the scammer or somebody who works with them because they want a large sum of money and you're not going to get anything back going through some crazy person like that, right? So just beware of those money recovery operations, unless it's officially from the government of your country and unless you can really verify it's them, not some jerk with a fake ID on their page and sending it to you, because a lot of people are convinced, especially older folks, and I'm an older folk, so, but I mean I've been on computers for years, but I mean somebody that wasn't and isn't naturally suspicious like I am, they might say, well, the person sent me a picture of their passport and they sent me a copy of their driver's license. You can make anything you want on a computer. Fake FBI badges, I mean, you name it. So unless you go in person to a police department and unless they have a fraud recovery unit, which unfortunately a lot of times they just tell you, you have to be careful of that. All we could do is warn you against it. Just please be careful. There's really no legitimate money recovery companies that I know of at this time. So please be careful. I'm going to have some more catfish that are writing to me probably next week. I mean, it's just in the beginning, hello stages. I've got like 6 new scammers following me on Instagram. Better scammer followers than none, right? So a few of them have so far just said, hello, how are you? And it's funny because some of the scammers are using the same picture as somebody else with 2 different names. It's pretty funny. So I'll be back next week with some of those. And I got some other stupid messages like, do you want me to promote your channel? And I said, no, I don't pay to get views and likes. I want the real thing or nothing at all, So, folks, I love you all, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.